Chris, the Bear Fallica's best college football win total bets. Chris, the Bear Fallica's best college football win total bets. A lot of times, in college football, wins depend solely on how your schedule is lined up. In other words, some teams attempt to schedule wins while others schedule challenges. Here are a few bets I have my eyes on ahead of the 2026 college football season. This page may contain affiliate links to legal sports betting partners.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. High-quality protein to build muscle. The nutrition you need to power on.
Ready to order? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/10.
If you sign up or place a wager, Fox Sports may be compensated. Read more about sports betting on Fox Sports. Texas Tech, minus 1.5, minus 140, Texas regular season wins. I think Tech's baseline is 11-1 given the very favorable Big 12 slate. There is no BYU or Utah, and the Red Raiders' toughest games are at home: ASU, Houston, Arizona, and TCU. A 12-0 slate is not impossible, and the chances of it happening are the highest of any P4 team. If Tech goes 12-0, Texas has to go 11-1 to beat us. If Tech goes 11-1, which is probably more likely, Texas has to go 10-2 to beat us, and I'm not sure if that's a certainty. I'd say 9-3 is very much on the table for Texas. The Longhorns have to visit LSU and A&M. Ohio State and Ole Miss come to Austin. And of course, there is the annual Oklahoma game in Dallas. This is exactly what Sark is talking about. Look at the Texas schedule compared to Tech's schedule. Texas power rates higher than Tech, but will finish with a worse record. It's not sour grapes, it's just reality. Nebraska regular season wins. I think Nebraska has 6-6, at best, stamped all over it. The Huskers are hoping Anthony Colandrea can play more like he did at UNLV than he did during his P4 stop at Virginia. Matt Rule is 0 for V's. Ranked teams while at Nebraska, 210 overall in November, and the Huskers have been dominated by Iowa lately. Nebraska is not going to beat Indiana, Oregon, or Ohio State. And would anyone be shocked if Maryland or Washington went to Lincoln and won? There is going to be a ton of excitement when the Huskers start 4-0, and then reality will set in. Oregon hasn't lost to a team which hasn't played for the national title since 2022. It does not lose games it isn't supposed to. I think the Ducks are 11-1 at worst, and if that's the case, then Nebraska has to go 7-5 to beat us. TOLEDO over under 7.5 wins. Let's start with the obvious. The MAC is not a good league, especially outside the top few teams. I think there's a bit of an overreaction here to Jason Candle leaving for UConn. Let us not forget, Candle had a knack for losing a bunch of games as a big favorite. I think we have a coaching upgrade with Mike Jacobs, an Ohio guy with Ohio State and Jim Tressel connections that should be able to pluck players out of Ohio high schools. Jacobs brought a ton of his team with him from Mercer, where he went 26 over the last 2 seasons. You're telling me a bunch of successful FCS veterans can't come to the MAC and post an 8-4 record? North Carolina over under 4.5 wins, plus 120 consecutive 4-8 seasons are very much on the table in Chapel Hill. UNC has Miami and Louisville in ACC play. I think those two are the best teams in the ACC, faces Notre Dame and TCU in the non-conference, and picks up a lot of the mid to upper tier ACC opponents on its schedule, at Clemson, at Pitt, at Virginia, NC State. There's a chance UNC is 1-4 after 5 games, and what's the vibe like if that's the case, knowing you still have Miami and Louisville on the slate? I know there were changes to the offensive coaching staff which should help, but it feels like there's so much going on off the field that it's going to be a season of distractions. We'll see what happens, but under feels like the right side here.